Hello everyone, it's Derek here with Get Lost Trails. Today we're in southwest Colorado, headed north of Durango on US 550 in the general direction of Silverton. Headed up to ride Old Lime Creek Road today for Service 591. It's about an 11 mile or 17.5 kilometer stretch of rugged graveled road that used to be part of the old route between Durango and Silverton, now replaced by the section of highway that runs over Coalbank Pass. Along the way today we'll be doing a couple hikes. We're going to start out on the south end of Lime Creek Road, which is about 29 miles or 46 kilometers north of Durango. Head out there about 2.8 miles or 4.5 kilometers to Potato Lake Trailhead. Potato Lake Trail, or Spud Lake Trail as it's sometimes called, Trail 661, is about 2.5, 3 miles, about 4 to 5 kilometers round trip, depending on how much walking around you do at the lake. It's an in and out hike with a minimal elevation gain of about 400 feet, about 122 meters. Once we wrap up the hike to Potato Lake, we're going to continue on around Lime Creek Road, an additional 6.1 miles, or about 9.75 kilometers, to a short little hike down to Adrenaline Falls. After that, it's just an additional 2.2 miles, or about 3.5 kilometers, back up to US 550. I've made it up here to the trailhead for Potato Lake. It's about 3 miles, just under 3 miles off Highway 550 on Old Lime Creek Road. Getting ready to head out. It's a 3.1 mile, just under a 5 kilometer hike on up there. In and out hike with a little loop around the lake up there. So we're going to head up and check that out and see how it is. Headed up to Potato Lake here. The trail starts out from that lower lake area. Just starts a gradual hike up through the aspens. Nothing particularly strenuous so far. As we continue the hike up here to Potato Lake, some really nice little ponds and marsh areas out here. Hoping to see a moose, but haven't got that lucky yet. Here we are at Potato Lake, just about a half an hour up here, 1.3 miles one way. Could shorten the hike up a little bit if you don't do the loop around. That puts you at about 2.6 miles round trip, just under 4.2 kilometers. Found me a rock to sit on in the shade here. Gonna have me a quick bite of lunch by the lake and head back. It's not real hot out air temperature wise, but if you've ever been at high altitude, you'll know how that sun feels. We're about 9,800 feet here, or just under 3,000 meters roughly. So it's pretty warm out in the sun. Finished up the hike to Potato Lake there, back on Lime Creek Road here. Going to continue on around. It's an additional 5.8 miles, or about 9.3 kilometers, on over to Highway 550. Going to continue on around here, see what the road's like. It's sort of threatening rain, so let's hope that holds off a little while. Well, we've made it to the next stop, short hike down to Adrenaline Falls. It's 0.4 miles or 0.65 kilometers round trip. Just behind us here, down the hill actually. No sign for it, so if you didn't know it was here, you'd cruise right on by it. So keep an eye out for that. Kind of a wide area here you can park in, but really not overall a lot of parking. I believe the trail actually starts right here. Yep. So it's going to be all downhill, except when we come back, then it'll be all uphill. It seems to be wanting to threaten rain, so let's hope that holds off. There was a small chance this afternoon. It is end of June, beginning of July here in southwestern Colorado. Monsoon season is in full swing. Pretty typical afternoon showers around here. There it is, Adrenaline Falls. Nice short little hike. Made it down here to Adrenaline Falls just in time for a rain shower. That was Adrenaline Falls, headed back now. Nice little hike. It is a little steep coming up out of here. It's to be expected, but neat little waterfall. It's fairly close to Highway 550 on the north end. So if you don't want to drive all of Lime Creek Road, you could come in from the north end. Yeah, see, I'm already out of breath trying to walk and talk. Well, after a short breather intermission there, I'm back on the move. It is pretty steep coming up out of here, but I had half mile going in. It was my impression. All Trail said it was 0.4 miles, but that must have been one way. I don't understand why it would be listed like that, but pretty short hike at about 1 mile round trip apparently. Don't underestimate it though. This is pretty steep coming back up out of here. Did I mention that it's steep? Yeah, it's steep. I mean, I'm wet because it's sprinkling, but mainly I'm wet because I'm sweating. So we're almost back out to 550 here. The last little section of road there, I would say, was not particularly great. Not any better than the rest of it, so don't take a car that way. Yep, here we are, 550. Probably gonna head on back towards Haviland Lake, I think. That was my plan. I don't know what time it is here. 1500. So headed south towards Durango. We're on the north side of Cold Lake Pass. One of these days I'm going to go on up to Silverton. Do some riding up there, do some hiking up there. But that really needs to be like a 2-day trip. Time you get up there and want to do everything you want to do. Turning off of US 550 here onto Haviland Lake Road for Service 671. This is about 19 miles or 30 kilometers north of Durango. There's a Forest Service campground here with quite a few sites, about 40, several of which have electricity. You can make reservations for some of the sites on recreation.gov. I'm headed over here to hike the Haviland Lake Trail. It's a 3.8 mile or 6 kilometer loop. Doesn't actually go around the lake itself, but just winds through the woods. Just starting around the Haviland Lake Trail here. So I've already been confused a couple times. There's some trails that just meander about out here, and there's signage, but none of them say
Haviland Lake Trail. Miners, whatever, and wagon. So miners, trace, and wagon. Anyway, the primary trail looked like it kind of continued on the other direction, but this is the route on all trails, so. Well, I'm still just working my way around the Haviland Lake Trail here. Haven't seen too many people. One hiker, one guy on a mountain bike. When you're going around the trail, you'll come across the Elbert Creek Mine, or what's left of it. Protected by this fence, there's a shaft over there. Operated between 1875 and 1900, mining gold, copper, and silver. You can see what remains of the vertical shaft there. Coming down to Elbert Creek here, we do cross this forest area is really lush, and that's because it's quite damp. And along with that dampness comes a large mosquito population. Still working around the trail here, Haviland Lake, back to an intersection near Miners Trace and Wagon Trail. That trail continues on down to Chris Park Group Camp and Group Picnic Area. And then this here will continue our loop on around back to the parking area, the trailhead over by Haviland Lake Campground. So far, I'm just not all that excited about this trail. I'll tell you, I think it'd be a decent trail to do if you're camped, either already camped here at the group park, Chris Park Group Camp, or at Haviland Lake Campground. I think it'd be a good thing to get out, convenient trail to do, but I wouldn't go out of my way to come up here to do this trail, I guess. I've went 3 miles or 4.8 kilometers. I've come to another intersection. I have the option of wagon or water dog tort. The All Trails route looks like it continues on around that way. Pretty sure if I stay on this trail, which looks like the most popular route anyway, that'll take me back up there to the trailhead. Well, the shortcut worked out. We're back here to where the loop kind of split to start with when I was initially confused. So, getting pretty close to being back to the trailhead here. Taking the shortcut route back did skip the section that swings by Haviland Lake, which I suppose is the prettiest part of the whole loop, but short little spur up that way. You could view it if you'd like. I mean, it's not like you don't see it when you come in and out anyway. Made it back to the trailhead, back to the bike here, right at 3.8 miles round trip, or 6 kilometers. Overall, I would call the hike mediocre. If you're looking for a peaceful hike through the pines, great, it's excellent. If you're looking for something with outstanding scenery, not really. Anyway though, I need to get suited up, head on then back to Durango, grab some groceries, do some really exciting things, right? But if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to, so you don't miss any of my upcoming future adventure videos. I got some more stuff coming out pretty soon from here in Colorado, and possibly some backdated stuff from Arizona and Utah this winter. So be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out some of my other adventure videos, and have a good day. That was Adrenaline Falls. We're headed back out now, back up to finish up the last little segment of line. Oh, fuck. Start that